Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to tackle a big one, a term you hear thrown around all the time in business, strategic planning.
So let's just jump right in with a huge question. Ever wonder how businesses, and I mean everyone from a giant like Apple down to the coffee shop on your corner, figure out what to do next? Is it all just a shot in the dark? Or is there actually a map they follow to get through all the chaos?
You know, this quote here, it just perfectly captures that feeling of panic, right? Events move so fast, plans are out of date before they can be implemented. That feeling of constant change, of total chaos, that's exactly what strategic planning is designed to handle. And here's the key. It's not about a rigid plan set in stone. It's about having a flexible, smart process.
Okay, so what is it really? Well, at its core, strategic planning is the process of figuring out where you're going and then making really smart choices about how to use your resources, your money, your people, your time to actually get there. It's not magic, not at all. It's a framework, a journey, really, with 3 main stages, and we're about to get into it.
Yeah, we can actually boil this whole thing down to 3 simple, logical steps. It's a journey, right? So, step 1, analysis. That's just figuring out where are we right now. Step 2, choice. Okay, where do we want to go? And step 3, implementation. How are we going to get there? This is our roadmap for today. Simple as that.
Okay, let's kick things off with section 1, analysis. You know, checking the map, because every good trip starts with knowing exactly where you are and what's around you.
This whole analysis thing really breaks down into 2 parts. Think of it as looking at your car's dashboard and then looking out the windshield at the road ahead. You've got to look inward at your company's resources, what you have, your strengths, your weaknesses, and then you have to look outward at the business environment. What's coming at you? What opportunities are out there? So for that inward look, strategists have this handy little checklist, the 6 M's. And it's way more than just about money. It's about manpower, and not just how many people, but what are their skills? Are they motivated? It's about your machinery, your materials, your markets, and maybe the most important one, your company's makeup. That's your structure, your culture, the very soul of the place. It's basically a full, honest-to-goodness audit of what you've really got to work with.
Okay, so you've done the internal checkup. You know what's in your toolbox. Now, you got to look outside and see what kind of world you're playing in. Let's look outward at that competitive landscape.
And a really powerful tool for this is something called Porter's 5 Forces. It's basically a framework that helps you figure out how tough your industry is by asking 5 key questions, like the threat of new entrants. How easy is it for some new company to set up shop and steal your lunch? Or the power of buyers. Do your customers have you over a barrel, always demanding lower prices? When you look at all 5 of these forces together, you get a really clear picture of just how competitive your world is.
All right, we've checked the map, we know where we are. That brings us to the second part of our journey, choice. It's time to pick a destination.
And this is maybe the biggest choice of all. So how are you going to compete? What's your fundamental game plan for winning in the marketplace?
Now, what's great is that this huge, complex question can actually be boiled down to 3 main paths. First, you can go for cost leadership. Think about the company that's always the cheapest because they're just super efficient. Second, you can try differentiation. This is about being so unique or so high quality that people are happy to pay more. Or third, there's focus. That's where you pick a tiny specific corner of the market and just own it by being either the cheapest or the most unique player in that little pond.
Okay, so you've figured out how you'll compete. The next choice is, where are you going to go? Are you going to double down on what you know, or is it time to explore some brand new territory?
And this is where something called the Ansoff matrix is super helpful. It lays out your 4 main growth options, kind of from safest to riskiest. You can try to sell more of your current stuff to your current customers. That's market penetration. Or you could create new stuff for those same customers. That's product development. You could take your old stuff to new markets, market development. Or, the big one, the riskiest move of all, diversification. That's new products for totally new markets. It's a whole new ballgame.
Right, so we've analyzed the map, we've picked a destination. Now for the really crucial part. How do we actually do it? This is section 3, implementation. This is where the rubber meets the road. When it comes to actually executing your strategy, you've basically got 3 ways to play it. It's the classic build, buy, or borrow dilemma. You can build the thing you need yourself from scratch, that's internal development. You can just go out and buy it by acquiring a whole other company. Or you can borrow the capability by partnering up with someone else in a joint venture. But hold on, before you go and bet the farm, you got to do one last sanity check. And the SFA framework is perfect for this. You just ask 3 simple questions. First, is it suitable? Like, does this plan actually solve the issues we found way back in our analysis? Second, is it feasible? Can we really do this? Do we have the 6 M's? The money, the manpower, all of it. And finally, is it acceptable? Are our stakeholders, our investors, our employees, going to be okay with the risk we're about to take for the potential payoff?
Okay, we've walked through the whole journey: analysis, choice, implementation. So for this last section, let's bring it all together and talk about what you should really take away from all this.
Look, if there's one thing to burn into your brain, it's this. Strategic planning is not a one-and-done kind of thing. It isn't a single trip. The world changes, competitors move, the map is constantly being redrawn, so it has to be a continuous cycle. You're always analyzing, choosing, and implementing again and again.
And honestly, this is the really cool part. Once you understand this stuff, you start seeing the world differently. You have the tools now. So think about a brand you love. I mean, any brand. Your phone, your sneakers, that coffee you drink every morning. Can you spot the strategic choices they made? Can you see why they're winning? Or maybe where they're vulnerable? Because once you start looking for it, I promise, you'll see this stuff everywhere.